Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Science and Beyond. I hope everyone's having a great evening. You know, it's a weird Friday around the planet right now. I mean, well, I should say around the country. It's actually cold down here in the South, which is weird because we just today. So this is our week. So Monday it's 33, Tuesday it was 72, Wednesday it was 40, Thursday it was 70. Today it was 75. Tomorrow it's going to be 28. I tell people all the time if you're not used to the up and down climate, don't come down here in the wintertime. It'll kill you. All my friends from London, I'm coming. It's warm. I said, yeah, come on down here and see what's going to happen if you don't get sick. It's just a roller coaster ride the way our weather is. But we haven't get no rain, so that's a plus. We've been sending it out to LA. Go rain
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
there. And by the way, I'm mad at y'all. What the hell happened with the Rams? Why couldn't they win?
They got rained out.
John, you should have got out there and rooted. If they would have won, the Saints would have been in the playoffs.
Oh man.
I'm just saying, man, it's rough out there, man. People, in case y'all don't know, John and I'm from Los Angeles. In case y'all don't know why I keep referring that. So, anyway, guys, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We have John and Emily Goodwin on tonight. I actually call it the House of Goodwin, and see, it's actually in the band that's rolling by. And they're from Galaxy Press, and actually, these guys are great. I've been knowing them for a while now, a couple of years, about 4 years now, I think. And I had a blast with them just recently out in LA in October. They do a lot of hard work. Actually, I see who the hard worker is, but we're not going to say nothing on it. No, I got to say, everybody I've seen there was unbelievably hard working. And in a few minutes, we're going to talk about somebody who just passed, but I don't want to start the show quite like that. But guys and girls, if you're interested in any of this, pay attention. We're going to be crossing a lot of subjects tonight, as we usually do, and we'll be talking a little bit about what they do and why they got involved with it and how it's changing things. I got to say, I was quite impressed when I was out there in October. So, John, Emily, welcome. Y'all looking good tonight.
Good to see you, Joe.
Good to
I
see you
know.
back
Yeah,
again here now.
good looking power couple. I'm telling y'all, huh? They look good. Why is my messenger flow? Oh, hey, guys. Look, y'all try to, because John didn't want to see comments. Why don't y'all try to use one of the forms of chat, either YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We've got 5 Facebook pages you can comment off. You can use 3 of the YouTubes. And, of course, there's Twitch. I know y'all like to message me on my messenger, but sometimes it gets a little weird. They used to do messenger group. Now they just it's like a string of messages going down. Like, and sometimes I want to read them, and sometimes I'm ignoring. I want to ignore their asses because they get a little crazy with it. I got to call my sister. I know my niece was having a baby this weekend, so I got to find out what she had. Hopefully, it was like twin boys or something, just to see my sister's face. I'm an evil brother. What can I say?
You're going to say congratulations.
Yes, I will. And then no telling what they've been up to. But so I seen y'all the other day. I was looking on it was a Facebook page that posted something about y'all were editing something on page or something.
Yeah,
Proofreading.
we're proofreading that Rise of Future Volume 38, which releases in April, which you will be coming out for. And so Emily and I it's a double win on that for us when we get a proofread and know that we're going to have as a good book. But 2, it gets us familiar with all the different stories and art that enable us to be a little bit more hands-on when talking and working with the winners. So it's so fun discovering all these new writers and artists, which is just amazing.
I mean, everybody I met out there was amazing. Actually, even it was strange for me because when I was looking at the winners out there, y'all went from 17 to what 66, I think it was.
67, yeah.
Yeah. And that's a wide range.
Yeah.
I mean, that's inclusive. There's a lot. I mean, it's not inclusive. I mean, there's just a lot of. And I hate to say it, and I usually don't like everybody. I mean, usually, I'm kind of cranky. Y'all know me, and everybody was really nice. I liked all the winners. I think I was counting the other day. I think it's 26 or 28 interviews, plus. Oh, Emily's getting ready to interview. What's her name, man? And I liked it. She's one of my favorites. The cop girl.
Oh, Barbara Lund.
Yeah. So I pulled the slicker.
Because
Amelia.
Emily's right here.
Amelia. You see, I don't know what this is. Amelia was giving me shit about this the other day because I was calling her Emily. There is some kind of Freudian thing going. I'm not sure what's going on here.
We're both Canadian.
Yeah, but
They're
this
both
got to be more
beautiful
than
women
that.
and Canadian, so there you go.
I don't call Michelle Emily or Amelia. There's got to be something going on here. And y'all ain't even the same kind of girl. It's the same kind of woman. I don't know what that is. I got to figure that out in my brain. It's I'm talking about one thinking about the other one. I don't know. It's got to be
You
something
both
going
like
on.
Christian Louboutin shoes.
Oh, we
No,
both
well,
like chocolate and
oh
movie.
yeah, that's a big one too. Yeah,
Yeah.
both. Yeah, I just got through finishing off a bottle of Canadian syrup that she sent me,
Mm.
which, she's a food cheese, right? Just kidding. Y'all, if y'all know who we're talking about Amelia Pisano. She hosts on Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche. They're going to interview her. So she wrote the book, The Sixers, which is about psychic police lately catching people and doing things. And Amelia actually is a psychic cop. So I just thought it would be interesting
Yeah.
to get two together and see what comes out of it. So I can't wait to hear that interview. I know Amelia was telling me something about. See, I did it again. It's Amelia was telling me something about it pretty soon, so I'm waiting to hear that. And I got a couple other ones coming up. So I still need it. I want to talk to that boy in Australia. He is just. I was watching that interview again. I was watching the clip from. He's just, guys, y'all got to go see this. So you got to go over. What is it? Writersfuture.com. It's what 2021, 2020, and 2021, right?
Yeah.
That's how it's titled.
Yeah.
So y'all can get it off of one of our pages, but if you go over there, it's about I don't know halfway through somewhere. You can't miss him, guys. Big blue eyes. The guy is just full of energy.
He was the grand prize winner.
Oh yes, and he acted like the grand prize winner.
Chris Winspear from Australia.
Yes, he was a blast to listen to.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody seemed to have fun, and I liked how everybody took a subtle approach. Now, I know we got a little bad news tonight, so who wants to?
Well, unfortunately, we had this morning, very early this morning, about 12:30 a.m. We lost our coordinating judge for Writers of the Future. He's a international best-selling author, New York Times best-selling author, Dave Farland, also known his real name is Dave Wolverton, depending on whether he's writing sci-fi or fantasy. Most people know him as Dave Farland. He's been with the contest. He was the grand prize winner in Volume 3, and he went on to become extremely successful, and then he became a judge for the contest. And he has served for a very long time as the coordinating judge, and a lot of people call him the author whisperer. And it was much too soon. It was very unfortunate. It's been a very rough last 48 hours. But, he has left behind, just if you see the tributes to him, he has just touched so many people and helped so many people, so many authors. And so he will be dearly missed.
Well, if you want to see him in his environment, there's several of the galas that are up on YouTube that y'all go check out. You can see him in several of them. So, maybe we could get somebody to maybe we should get somebody to go through there and do a little tribute to him or something.
Yeah,
well, I'm working on that right now. I'm putting together a
Okay.
tribute. I've got judges. I got people sending their favorite photos with him, and it'll be between 7 and 10 minutes long with photos from him as a baby all the way up to being a student, a dad, his jobs, a husband, a mentor, a prize-winning author, just all the different things that he did that he touched so many lives on. He was such a gentle person.
Yeah, they called him the author whisperer because he had this knack for finding talent. Like if anybody has read sci-fi fantasy and you're familiar with Brandon Sanderson, he was a teacher at BYU, and he was actually Brandon Sanderson's teacher. He gave Brandon his first kudo and helped him out getting published. And Stephanie Meyer, who wrote all of Twilight, he helped outline that book in that series. J.K. Rowling, he's the one who discovered her. All the Harry Potter books we have because of David Farland. So Brandon Mull, I mean, the list goes on. Patrick Rothfuss, he's just discovered so much talent. So
it's just, and I hate to see anybody go when you got something to offer. You know how I am. There's everything lately. I'm always wanting to see anything new or anybody getting people to do anything new, any artwork, any kind of books, any kind of TV, movies. I'm going insane, y'all. I want y'all to know that. And it's just hate to see anybody get lost like that.
Yeah, he was definitely too young. He was only 64.
Yeah, that's a baby. So
yeah.
Don't everybody ready to be smart. Hey, that's a baby. Trust me. In the old days, that might not have been a baby. In today's world, that is.
That's
People live to be much older, and most of my relatives living in the mid-70s, and they don't stop working. That's what a friend of mine did today told me. He said, I ain't worrying about you. He said, you're going to die working. I know how you are. He said, you're not going to ever retire. I said, yeah, I'm retired. He started laughing. He said, yeah, what are you going to do, sit around the house? I said, don't be a smart ass, man. He's right, though. I mean, my mom was working until she died. My dad was too. I figure I'll be the same way. But I like that. I'm happy working. I'm happy
Yeah.
getting involved in stuff. I love doing stuff like what we're talking about right now, except when we get sad notes like this. But when you put the tribute together, send it to me.
I
By the
will.
way, your show is being moved up to 5 o'clock. By the way, but anyway, just thought I'd tell you that on the air. How sweet! And I got some other news for it, but I'll tell you that when we get on. It's going to be Monday. It's going to be Carnation Monday. They're going to sponsor the whole thing. It starts, I think, in I think it's June. It might be May or June, but they're going to sponsor the whole day. So
Wow.
yeah. So it's going to be. You heard it here first before y'all, and then you, and then it's going to be. I can't think of his name right now. It's a new show coming on, and then there's going to be the Horsefly Chronicles, and then we got a witch coming on after that. She's a real witch, so
Wow.
that's a cap off the night. And then of course we got our lovely friend Laura Lee, who's just like our bubbly, friendly, happy host. I don't know how she does it either. She's like, I'm like, I'm going to kill you. Stop it. she's always happy though, and it's always nice to have a host like that on a network, especially when things are going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I just hate to hear about Dave because he did. And come on, if he found J.K. Rowling, God knows who else he'd have found for us.
That's right.
I mean, he's been discovering writers of the future for a long time. I mean, a lot. We have had now, I think, 36 New York Times bestsellers come out of the contest, and he's not been the coordinating judge the whole time, but for a large part of it. I mean, he even had the Guinness World Record for most signed books
And
at a book signing, which was a book that he co-wrote with L. Ron Hubbard. Actually, L. Ron Hubbard wrote a screenplay, and Dave turned that into a novel. It's called A Very Strange Trip, and he got a Guinness World Record for the most signed books in one autographing session.
Damn.
Yeah.
But look, I remember when they say this, they mean this because I was at their last signing, and damn, there's a lot of books being signed.
I think it was over 5,000, right?
Oh yeah,
a lot of books. Yeah, that was a lot of books. And yeah, but he was super caring, super amazing, and extremely humble. And
he was.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it's amazing, and not just for him, but almost everybody I met there. It's amazing how many of these people take the time out of their life to do this. And ladies and gentlemen, what I mean by this is because I know a lot of y'all only hear us talk, but you don't really see the inside stuff. But these are people who are famous, that are bestsellers, best artists, all have good careers, and they're taking their life and they're taking a week to go spend it with nobodies. And I mean nobodies. These people are nobodies. They're just first time winners. They're out there getting in the world and probably got great stories, but still they're nobodies in the grand scheme of things. And these people are spending a week with them. That's a lot of time to give up.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're like John and I in anal, and we just like to work all the time. So it's a lot of time. You're like, ooh, man, it's a lot of time to give up. And but they do. But it was more than that. They were happy to do it.
Yeah.
I really did expect, and I'll be honest about this, I really did expect to see maybe a little crankiness. I didn't see any. I didn't even see any with the winners, and I know y'all were pushing the hell out of them. It was a very well done, the whole thing was really nice. I should have just put a damn thing on my shoulder and recorded the whole damn thing. But guys, there was just a lot going on there, and all I can tell you is, if you're a writer or an artist, just go over to their website and check them out. Go over to galaxypress.com or go over to writersofthefuture.com and check it out what we're talking about. All you can do is try it. I actually talked my son, and he's writing one right now.
That's great.
Yes, because he can actually write. He's not like his dad. He can actually write. His dad can scribble scratch. It's funny because I was doing a list of stuff, overages on one of the jobs. And my partner comes up. He said, "Thank God you can read that."
Oh no!
I said, "Well, yeah, it's my own. It's JoJo Ease. All the hosts call it that. All my friends that work at Icon all call it that. They learn how to read it after a while, so they figure out what the hell it is. When you've been watching it for 5 or 10, 15 years, you're like, oh yeah, I know what that means."
Yeah. No, it took me a while to get the hang of.
Yes, and then I'm real bad about leaving out words or sentences. Sometimes even paragraphs. My brain works way too. One of my owners called me. They said, "Joe,
have a knack for it."
No, yeah, a good friend owner calls me. He said, "Joe, did you forget something in that message?" I'm like, "Well, I go back and read. Yeah, I forgot like half the message. I started and stopped. There was nothing in the middle." I was like, "Oh damn." It's
Yeah.
people don't laugh. It happens. I'm old. What can I say? I was like that when I was young,
But that's why I
uh,
was really happy to be able to talk to you. It was a year ago, New Year's night that we spoke. It was last year that we actually spent a couple hours talking about New Year's resolutions, and so now it's a year later. We can talk about all the different books you've written since we talked about your
yes,
New Year's
three of
resolutions.
them damn things too, man. Three of them books. And you know what I did when I read them? I went. That's what happened to them things. But I did. I will be honest. I did try one, and I even tried. I put the pad I got from you. I actually put it in a car because I had been listening and stuff. So I said I figured I'll hook it up through the system, and I can talk to it while I'm driving.
Yeah.
So I did that for about a week, and then listen, I hit delete. I was like, nope, this is jibber jabber, and hit delete. I don't know. I don't have the knack for putting things where they need to be. I don't know though. I gotta say, I actually learned some stuff when I was out there with y'all. I actually learned quite a lot about art. Of course, I didn't know anything about art, but I was like, damn, that's how you do that? Well, that's what it looks like then. I was like, oh, I was
No, that's
completely
amazing.
ignorant, all I can say. And I sat in a couple of author classes, so I snuck in the back and sat back there and listened for a while. And I learned quite a lot of stuff. And people, I didn't win no books, and I still got to learn some. So I didn't write any books, but it's still nice. If I can learn, all I can tell you people, if I can learn something, y'all need to write a book because y'all can all learn something. It was a lot of fun.
You're so hard on yourself, Joe.
Oh, well, no, I know. You see, I've always known what my good points are, my bad points are. And it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's why it's like when I was talking with some friends a couple of days ago, some customers, we're all having lunch, and he said, I don't understand how you just talk and then people do what you want. He said, you don't even offer anything. Put this in perspective. So, I interviewed Mayor de Blasio.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do part 2 in D.C. Now, he's no longer a mayor anymore. The other guy has taken over. But so I was listening to his people, and they're like, they were texting me. I'm not kidding you. Be careful. This guy's good, man. He's just good. So after the interview's over, he goes, man, I really like your style. He said, you didn't take a side. You really went down the middle. He said you got on both sides. He said you meant it. He said you talked about stuff I wanted to talk about. You talked about stuff that, wasn't exactly the most flattering things, but still you were honest about it. But I didn't take it as, I told him in the beginning, it wasn't going to be a hostile interview, but it wasn't going to be just a cakewalk, because I wanted some information. And he said it was the most relaxed interview he's done in a decade.
Wow.
And he said, and it was nice because I could be myself and say what I wanted to say and have a reporter that was like, well, I don't exactly agree with that. I don't hate you for that, but I don't exactly agree with that. He just, because, today, if it's Fox, you're on Fox. If you're on CNN, it's a complete other way. But it's just basically they're going to both hate on you, whoever you are when you're on. That's not my style. I wanted to know what made the man work. I wanted to know why he made some of the decisions he made. I want to know how he felt about his daughter running around the streets in the middle of riots, which he answered. And that's just the stuff I wanted to know. And I guess they were the kind of interviews. I also got him to say he was running for governor. So
yeah. So he said it here first.
Yes, heard it here first, right here, people.
Exactly.
Guys, Coca-Cola sponsors Science and Beyond. This is the only time I drink Coke, by the way. I gave it up. Well, I gave it up a while back. Mostly gave it up. I ain't gonna lie, I mostly gave it up. So what y'all got planned for this year? What kind of good stuff we got going on?
Well, again, the thing about Writers of the Future, which is a key part of what we do, because it's very time consuming, and we're very gearing up for the April event. But the idea of people that have a story in their head they want to be able to tell is, what I was happy you were talking about on Science and Beyond, because a lot of people have knowledge of different things that have occurred, that they've experienced, that they've seen, they've witnessed, and don't know how to communicate that. So you can tell your story over the water fountain or at the breakfast table, but how do you communicate to somebody else that they're going to, so it'll be a point of interest? Like you've talked about, you're missing 6 days or 7 days in Florida. But a lot of people have those types of stories, don't know how to share it. And that's why Rise of the Future is I think so important, because it really takes a person. We don't judge, we don't evaluate and say that, oh, you suck. That's not what's
true.
That's not what it is. It's like, let's work with you so that you can then
improve
and be able to do that. And so that's what online writing workshop provides is the tools to be able to write the stuff. And we even have the forum that if you've got somebody you want to be able to connect up with, you can post in there and find other people that you can team up with on answering questions and helping critique and whatnot.
No, wait, what's Wolf do? He's the
Wolf Moon?
He's
the moderator?
moderator of the
moderator,
Registered Teacher
guys.
Forum.
By the way, I love this guy. He's another one I had a blast with. Wolf was great, and he is serious about his moderating. By the way, him and I had a couple of talks about it, and his interview was good. He was fun in person when we walked around and we're talking. People don't realize it because I don't have big press things all over me, but anytime I'm talking to you, I'm listening to what you're telling me. It's everybody, it's just one of the things that's in my head, and I'll either use it in an interview or I won't. But I mean, everybody was great. I didn't just see anybody that was out of, I know there was a lot of stress in there somewhere, wrapped up in somebody, but they weren't showing it. Maybe when they got in the room, they were like, which I can understand that, but in reality, I just didn't see any of it. And everybody was so approachable. That's another thing I liked because nobody knew me from Bean. They didn't know who the hell I was. Just some scary looking guy walking around asking questions. A couple of times I walked out to the pool, walked right into the middle of conversation. They don't, like I said, again, they don't know who the hell I am. And they welcomed me and talked to me, and it was nice, and they were not on guard. They were just being themselves.
Yeah.
It's like when Emily was sitting on the chair talking that night having a drink, she was just being herself. You don't get to see Emily being herself a lot because she's like, shoo! She's like warm speed people. I'm not kidding y'all. This woman is like zipping all over the place. You got to have one of them fast speed cameras just to catch her. But it was just nice. I mean, everybody was laid back. John was great. Him and I walked around. We got to have breakfast in the mornings together, which was kind of nice. We got to talk, and I got to pick his brain about different things. And then of course when we were sitting there, everybody came in, was sitting there, or we walked in on breakfast and everybody was sitting there. It was just a nice feeling, a nice environment. And I've been to a lot of places, a lot of lectures, a lot of conferences, a lot of different gigs. Some are really good, and some are like, oh my God. And they all sell themselves as the thing. So I was impressed with it. But if y'all get a chance, people, get out there, write a book, just so you can come and meet the good ones.
No.
Yes, I'm serious. No, it's well worth it. So if y'all should, I mean, you're gonna get to meet a lot of other people, but I mean, still, they don't get near the credit they should. I know how they are, but I was giving them hell after the game. I said, man, y'all get no credit for this. I'm gonna start slapping people around. I'm protective. What can I say? I'm like that. But I know y'all are really busting it. So, what's gonna be your number one thing on your year now? Are we giving up any bad habits this year while we're on this? Okay, you know what I'm talking about because it's the new year now. So resolutions. What kind of bad habits you giving up?
I don't have any bad habits.
Oh, I knew that.
Well, I've gotten back at the end of. It's very easy with all this COVID happening. That was happening before to scrimp on the exercise. So,
yes, I know that.
Yeah, so I'm back into not daily, but almost daily, like spending 20, 30 minutes a day exercising it. Before I go home at night, I'll just hit, some either doing some laps or I've got this weighted jump rope and I'll do a couple hundred of those. We have a pull-up bar and I just got back up to 5 pull-ups. That was just like, I was pathetic. I did 2 after I got back into it recently. I was 2 pull-ups and now I'm back up to 5. So my target is immediately the next couple of weeks to get back up to 10. It was just like, oh my gosh.
It's funny. Last time I see my cardiologist, he said, you should get like you one of them stair stepping things. I said, really? He said, why don't you come to work with me one day? He said, I said, dude, my office is upstairs, my house is upstairs, everywhere I work is upstairs. I'm up and down, up and down, up and down. It's like this house where I live. It's got this huge ass, long ass hallway. And, the house is built 12 feet off the ground. So anytime you go outside, it's up and down, up and down, up and down. I take the dogs out, up and down, up and down. But at work, almost all of our properties are all raised, or if they're not raised, they got second floors or third floors. So it's always up and down. My office is on the second floor. It's always up and down. So that's actually nice. I don't have to do as much. Because I know last time I got on the treadmill, I was 10 minutes and I was going. She said, well, you can stop now. There's nothing wrong with your heart. I was like, okay, that's good.
That's great.
Nice.
That's good. That's always good to hear.
So what about yourself? What are you going to change this year?
Not to eat anything. You know, I tell my friends all the time when they tell me they're on a diet, they said, how can I not, how can I lose weight? I said, stop sticking food in your mouth. That's just the easiest way. So, no, I gained like, oh God, almost 30 pounds. Yeah, right. But it wasn't because of the COVID. I was doing good. I was down. I had lost like 26, 27 pounds. And then when I got that trigeminal nerve thing, they put me on these new pills. And it just was like, it did 2.5 months. It was bad.
Wow.
So then me and the doctor had a talk. So now I'm losing about 4 pounds a week, 5 pounds a
Oh,
week.
good.
Yeah. It's I said, yeah, we got to adjust this because I said my cardiologist is going to kick me in the head when he sees me. I was like, besides, I got a lot of nice clothes. I'm going to have to be buying new ones.
Yeah.
It's I'm looking, but no, I like, you know, I'm a decent sized guy, so I like being around 210, 220. Right now I'm about 245, so I don't feel as comfortable. Everybody's got their weight they feel comfortable in, you know, so you just got to get there. Miss Beanpole over here, and she ain't got to worry about it. In case y'all know, Emily's like, you can't see her, but she's like this big. I'm not kidding.
No.
I could actually pick her up with one arm and just do. Wouldn't even know she was there. I was like, yeah.
No.
Well, there was quite a few thin people there. I guess because we were in LA, I should have realized.
It's Hollywood. I mean, what do you expect?
When I said that, I should have realized what I was saying. Yeah, you know. I got
anything over a size 2 is like quick. Go
Oh.
see a doctor.
Yes, I know. I remember stumbling into the salsa dance. Maybe I'll give that up for.
Oh yeah.
That was just weird.
You
There were some
Echo
good dances in there, though. Huh?
You, Echo, and Tom joined in.
Yes, it was strange. Echo cracks me up, man. Tom cracks me up too, but Echo just cracks me up. And they are so scared of her. It's so funny to me. They love her to death. Everybody the artists I talked to said she was just the greatest thing since.
But she's the coordinating judge for the Illustrated Feature Contest, Echo Chernick. She has worked for every major label probably in industry. She's done so many different things that you're familiar with. If you look at it and say, oh yeah, she designed it.
Yes, but they're scared of her. I don't know why they're scared.
I mean, she has quite a big career. So I think they're just a little intimidated.
Yeah, they are. It's a respect thing. It's not a bad thing. I didn't mean it like that because they all found her very approachable and she talked to everybody. I've seen it. She went out of her way to talk to everybody actually. But then they got scared when the three of us got together for some reason. I
wonder why.
They were like, "Oh, maybe we should stay." And then a bunch of us followed them upstairs. So I don't know what happened after that. It was kind of strange, but it was a lot of fun. And I got to say, I was impressed with how hard these people were working who got there. Because sometimes you see people win stuff and they take it for granted or they don't apply themselves for what all of these people seem to really be busting. Now I didn't get firsthand like y'all did, but it's they all seem to really be applying themselves. Guys, we're talking about the winners of Writers of the Future last year. Actually, it was 20 and 21. I keep counting out 20.
Yeah, we had 2 years worth of winners that we had out here because of COVID. In 2020 we couldn't have an event and workshop at all, so we had 2 years of writers and illustrators there. And normally there's 12 winners each year. There was a few foreign ones that couldn't make it this last year, but our next event is April 8th, so we're hoping to get them out here so that they can have their workshop and big awards gala and all that.
Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one, isn't it? Oh no, it's this one. Why is it hiding over here? This is the one we're talking about. Actually, this one. And
yeah,
these are mine, though, people. Y'all can't have these. These are autographs. Just get your ass. Don't even think you're getting them. So this one and this one. And I kept me one of the Battlefielders, too. But, man, they went fast. I mean, I gave them away fast. Of course, it was the holidays. So let's flip this back.
Yeah.
Now,
so we're definitely interested in people entering the Writers of the Future or the Illustrators of the Future contest. And for those who don't know, it's a writing competition for speculative fiction, so science fiction, fantasy, alternate history, dark fantasy, and it's free to enter. The judging is blind, meaning that all the judges will see is your story or your art and a number that gets assigned to it. So you win strictly by merit alone. Winners are chosen and are flown out to Hollywood for a week-long workshop, and that's where you met everybody.
Yep.
And it's 4 quarterly contests that run. So right now, we're in the middle of the second quarter. So first quarter runs from October 1st to the end of December, then January through March, April through June, and then July through September, and then starts the next year. Yeah, there's volume 37.
And there's Dave's name right there, edited by. Guys, you should read them anyway. They're all good. I haven't really ran any questions stories that I like. They may not all be to my taste because some of them are in different genres, but I enjoyed all of them.
Yeah.
Stop. Now, I taught some of them think some of the winners something. I said, when a host tells you they read it, question them. She's like, well, why? I said, trust me. So one of the girls said, she goes, because I said something about the story. She said, well, did you read it? I said, no. But she busted me. And that's what I wanted to do because it automatically puts them in control and takes the host out. So it's just a better way of doing it. They needed that. Most of them did good, and I liked them. They're learning. I think some of them will do quite well for themselves.
Yeah.
And at least we got to know them. So when they're rich and famous, I'm standing, hey, yeah, I kind of remember you, maybe.
Yeah.
So they'll remember John and Emily,
But what's great about the contest too, because it's open to anybody, and is now on the website, you can actually upload and enter your story or your art. This year in volume 38, we have winners from 8 different countries. That's the most we've had yet. So it's really good how it levels the playing field and people from anywhere. I'm about ready to do a podcast interview with Irmac, with Max Kevun, that girl who's going to USC now. She's from Turkey, and she's talking about what the contest meant to her because she's from a country where art is not recognized or supported, and so to find something like this that she could do was just meant so much to her. We had her second winner this year from Iran, and so it's amazing that people from other areas where they can't otherwise celebrate the arts are able to actually do that. So we're very excited with how the contest is growing, and a lot of it has to do with working with you.
I push out. I push out all the time.
Absolutely.
And we got a good international audience these days.
Yeah,
too, so
exactly.
Nice.
With 100 countries, at least that will be listened to any show that we do, and we have the podcast.
I got to poll your show. I haven't polled it lately, so you're probably over 100. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you're probably over 100 countries.
Yeah.
I haven't polled it in a while, but I will next time. When I move it up to the next slot, I'll poll it and see what they have. Because you've been getting lucky lately because I like y'all. So y'all can catch John on Mondays. He's always going to be on Mondays. That's actually his home slot. Now, occasionally when I'm feeling generous, I play him after Michelle and I on Wednesdays. So it's like a million listeners almost automatically. And then I'll play him sometimes on Saturday and Sundays. Now, we are going to start rerunning some of the shows. You're one of the ones. You heard it here first. There's going to be a couple of shows they're going to be rerunning on Sundays. There's also going to be a new gospel show on Sunday, which I'm not sure how that's going to work out. We'll have to wait and see. But religion scares me. What can I say? Not in a bad way. People, calm down before you start writing to me. Since I don't want a bunch of emails. That's these text messages already. Oh Lord, I got in trouble the other night because I used a retard word. I'm still getting emails. Shame on me. And people, it was in good conscience. Y'all just took it the wrong way. That's all I can say. Y'all just took it the wrong way. So. Well, y'all already know who some of these winners are already. That's right. I ain't going to ask you who they are, so we'll keep it as a surprise. But I know y'all know, and I know y'all know some of the stories and all. And when they mean it's blind judge, they really do. I was out there. I was talking with the judges. It was kind of funny because I asked a couple of them. They're like, well, we get the story, you reread it, and you either like the story or they don't. It's just how it works. But I got to say that too. When John said earlier, they don't send you a nasty letter, and we said they don't. They just say, okay, well, thank you, and try again, or maybe you might get lucky and get an honorable mention. Who's telling me they got a couple of honorable mention? Was it?
Probably Wolf Moon has received several.
Yeah, and what's his name? What's his name? Wow, was that him or was it the other guy?
Luke Waldman. I mean, definitely got honorable mention. But we get about every second week, a press release will come out from somebody as part of their CV that they were an honorable mention on Writers of the Future. I mean, it's just because it's been going on now for nearly 4 decades. Just the respectability of the contest is such that if somebody can say that they're an honorable mention in Writers of the Future, they're automatically in the top 10 percentile of new writers. So it's definitely a statistic worth promoting. People will do that now. But like I said, every other week now, somebody will issue a press release when they get their first novel published saying, yes, and I was also a finalist in Writers. I was an honorable mention in Writers of the Future.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about this. Tell Johnny I'm bringing a big box because I'm stealing the espresso machine.
Oh no!
I'm sticking it in a box. It's going to disappear. People. Now, I brought that up because somebody had just asked about y'all being in a green screen, and I said, "Well, they could be," but I said I've been in their.
No, this is not a green screen.
I was going to say because I've been in their offices, and their offices are gorgeous, by the way. They really are. It's a beautiful setup they got in there. I got the grand tour. I was enjoying it. I was enjoying the coffee actually. What can I say? I'm
You
easily
move the camera around to see the room.
yeah, because it's a great.
No, it's fine here.
See, look.
Hey, I'm in the
See, look at you like a bean pole, God.
office.
Oh my God, girl, you need to eat sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I eat a lot. You'd be surprised.
Well, yeah, well, yeah, you probably can because you're on. You got a high energy, so you're going a lot. So that's one of those things. It's guys and girls. We're talking about the Writers of the Future. Actually, we're talking about writersofthefuture.com, so y'all can go over and join the contest. But
Yeah.
we're actually talking about the event from last year, and wasn't that far away. It was only in October, so you can catch it up. Last time I checked, there was about 25,000 people that had viewed it in there. And hopefully we'll get some more tonight. And I got a couple of gigs coming up in the near future, so I'll be talking about it. And y'all got plugged on the de Blasio thing, so yes.
Great.
And well, I figured we were talking about New York, and there's just a lot of up and coming writers come out of New York. I figured it's a good place to plug it. And I don't know, he kind of sounded like if he don't win in New York, he might move to another state and run for another office, maybe in California. I'm not even going there, Newsom. Oh my God, I'm not even going there. I'm sorry. I'm not going to curse y'all like that. But people, I'm sorry. I'm not cursing anybody. Shh, try to get in trouble.
No, this is Science and Beyond now. This is
That's
not.
right. That's what I'm saying. We're not on Essentialist tonight. That's in like 4 weeks from now. Because I've been so busy, I haven't been even really talking any politics with anybody. I actually have been trying just not to watch them because I've been occupied with other stuff that I'm having more fun doing. So I've been kind of staying away from it. What was that? Hold on. Let me move this so I can see this damn Facebook list of comments popping up over here.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions too, we're more than willing to help answer on the contest, enter the contest, who the judges are, anything they can ask, they can ask. The contest was started in 1983. It was started by L. Ron Hubbard, and it was right after he wrote Battlefield Earth, which this one here, and you've got a copy of it behind you, and there's
my copy too. See, I actually have an audio copy of this, which is cool, but I'm keeping the book.
This one here.
Yes. Well, yeah, it's on the CD, but yes.
Yeah, you have the CD too. But it's also this year is the 40th anniversary of Battlefield Earth. So it's 40 years old this year, and so Emily's connected up with the Frazetta family.
Yeah, because this cover was that's a Frank. Let's see if I can get an angle where the light's not. It's a Frank Frazetta painting that he did for Battlefield Earth. It's the 40th anniversary of when the book was written, and also there you go. So you've got the art right there behind you.
So there you go, y'all. That's what that. No zoom on this camera. Damn, I have to get more zoom on it.
But, yeah, because otherwise they could see the actual signature of Frank Frazetta on your print.
Yes, it's right. It's right there in the lower right corner.
Yeah,
and it's right there, and it's actually got what edition it is on the back, and also because this goes back and forth on what's getting showed all the time, and just depends which side of my face is looking good that day. I'm just kidding. Before anybody writes to us, just teasing. Oh Lord, I don't want to get anybody going tonight.
It's the 40th anniversary of that particular piece that Frank Frazetta, who he's famous for. I mean, he's the king of illustration. He did all the original Conan art, and he's just amazing. And so we're going to be down in Florida in February for the opening of the Frazetta Museum down in South Florida, and looking forward to that.
Okay, what part of South Florida, girl? So Florida's a big long state.
No, it's about an hour south of Sarasota.
Boca Grande.
Boca Grande, that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's where Frank Frazetta lived until he passed away, and he did. Frazetta painted a lot of pieces for L. Ron Hubbard's books. So there'll be a bunch on display down there, and there's also nobody has seen it yet, but there's an interview that was done with Frazetta, and it's apparently one of the only ones that exists. So we'll be showing that down there at the museum when we go down there, and he describes painting that picture right behind you, actually.
He also talks about how he paints in general, like his whole technology of what art is, and it's an amazing. it was filmed when we were releasing one of the Rise of Future books, which had one of his
Yeah.
covers.
He was one of the judges for the Illustrators of the Future contest.
So anyway, so this is the 40th anniversary, and we actually I sent it to you. We just
Yeah,
created
I
a
seen the
new
teaser.
pillar page on the battlefieldearth.com site, which goes over. It answers questions, but it also helps to explain why it is a perennial bestseller, and it's sold nearly 5 million copies now globally, and it just continues to sell well. And it's a story. I mean, you've listened to the audiobook, I believe.
But it played between the week of Christmas and New Year's.
Oh, great!
Yeah,
Nice.
so
So
it played. I had to advertise it, so it played from 11 to 2 a.m. 11 to, it was, I think it was in 5 hour sprints. I had it. It was either 5 or 6 hours,
Wow.
and I just let it play. And we did it. We've been doing it since I got the original. Since about 2 years, 3 years. And I think it's the third time, and people enjoy it. It
Yeah.
surprised me how many people tune in, especially since it's a little later in the evening, and it was only halfway. People know that during the holidays I play a lot of weird stuff because I play War of the Worlds too,
mhm.
and but like the first night, I think I seen about 25,000 people logged in listening to it. It just kind of went up from there. I guess people started telling their friends and all that it was playing, and then we started getting comments about, "Oh, where can I get a copy?" I'm like, "Really?" I said, "It's kind of self-explanatory. Just go over to galaxypress.com," because I had on the banners, it had galaxypress.com on the banners. So if they were going to like YouTube or something like that to listen to it, you could actually see y'all's website on there. And yeah, so well,
It's been one of the best audiobooks that Audible has had. I mean, it's got 67 actors, 150,000 plus sound effects. It was and it's 47 hours.
I mean, it's almost.
Yeah.
I think it has 3,000 5-star reviews on Audible. So
it's
pretty awesome.
it's great. It's fun to listen to,
Yeah.
and you could tell people had actually started putting, because I got nice emails. People were putting time aside to listen to it. The only gripe I got is, "Oh, it's kind of early in the morning, Joe." I said, "Well, we have live shows doing that in the evenings, and I didn't want to play it during the daytime, doing drive time and all, because people weren't going to really be listening. They would be kind of half." Oh, they listen for a few minutes on the way to work, maybe at lunch a little bit, maybe in the evening a little bit. So that just wasn't going to work. This way, they could actually listen, and enjoy it and do it. And so you stayed up till 2 in the morning a couple of nights. What the hell? A lot of y'all still young enough to do that.
Yeah. Or they could make the ultimate sacrifice and forego 5 Starbucks visits and buy a copy of the audiobook for $35, or use one credit on Audible and get it. It's just like,
Okay, Michael. See, you the kind of people make me use the R word. All right. No, you see John and Emily Goodwin. Yes, she's married. See, you see John and Emily. Come on, you can see the damn picture. Jesus, people. Whatever. I'm not even going to pay no more attention to that. When I looked over, I was like, "What?" And I looked back and I realized, of course, you can see it's right. Plus, it's scrolling along the bottom of the screen down there. Okay. Whatever you need to send and share with the rest of us people. Okay. It's now, a friend of mine, we were talking about this the other day because Putin's going crazy lately. So he calls me, he said, maybe we should like go over and fly over to Russia and drop some audiobooks, some good sci-fi over the whole country. I said, "I don't think it's a country you're gonna worry about." "Oh no, really, we should." I said, "Dude, see, it's another one who should be sharing whatever he's on." But he's actually was serious in a way, because he works for, I was gonna say NATO. He works for the UN. He's been doing this for a long time. Sometimes they do books, sometimes it's food, sometimes it's clothes, sometimes it's sporting goods, whatever they can get their hands on. To be honest with you, is what it really
Mhm.
is. And he was laughing because I was talking about y'all. I was actually talking about y'all with somebody else, with two of my friends that are doing lectures at Mississippi State and at the other one. But he's like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Give them away." I said, "Go buy some and give them away." I said, he's like, "I wonder," because he likes doing stuff like this. It's weird. He was in Yugoslavia not too long ago giving away stuff. He actually got Barnes and Nobles donated, I think it was 100,000 books to him.
Nice.
They were, I think, if I remember what he told me, it was like 5 of each book. So it was probably about 25,000 books, and all together was 100,000. He had a blast. He said kids were coming up. He said it was funny because some of the little kids, like yay tall, were like trying to sneak up and steal one. And he's like, just
Wow.
he had Marvel gave him a bunch of comics he brought with him. and he was giving those away. He just enjoys it because it's good for his soul. He has fun doing it. But I don't know. He was telling me the other day they're going to give away. I think it's basketballs and soccer balls.
Mm.
Somebody donated a bunch of basketballs and soccer balls to him, and then something about bicycles to Haiti. I'm not sure what that was about. It's funny, but he just likes to stay busy. But he's also filthy rich and doesn't have to work, so it's a little bit easier. Because he said, "Why don't you come with me?" I said, "You gonna pay all my bills?" That's the first thing comes out of my mouth. You gonna pay all my bills? I said, "Man, I ain't as rich as you. I gotta still work for a living." He's like, "No, you don't." I'm saying, "Yeah, I do." But he's a good guy, and he's a mutual friend of my other friend who owns the Yellow Submarine. I don't know if y'all ever heard of this guy. He does deep sea diving down in from basically the bottom of the United States all the way down through the straits into God, he goes through the islands and all, pretty much down to deep into South America. He's one of the first guys who got asked to do the diving. So they found, supposedly, we're going to use the word supposedly, they found the sunken city off the coast of Cuba at the front point and one in the harbor. There are pictures, satellite imaging, and there are pictures from the original digs on the internet, so y'all can find them, and they are cities. Now, they say the pyramid that you see, all the pyramid in Giza could fit inside of it, sitting in 4,000 feet of water.
Wow. He
It's
dives 4,000 feet?
He's got a yellow submarine. His yellow submarine dives,
Wow.
and he goes in it, and they go down. And but the one off the point is only in like 600 feet of water, and he said the way the one in the harbor is, it's tilted. So there's like they think it was like maybe a volcano or something that washed out or something, but the top part of the city's up in about, I think he said 1,500, and then just kind of slopes down to the deep spot, which is around 4,000 feet. I forgot how deep the Gulf of Mexico is. It's actually deep. It's,
Yeah.
when you think of the Gulf, you think, oh, a couple hundred feet. No, it's 4,000 or 5,000 feet deep. It's you got big old whales swimming up in there, which we don't get to see because they're too far out. But I tell you what, I was out in the Gulf. I was out fishing off of a rig. So you could stand up on the boat and look straight down. You could see the bottom. The bottom was about 4,600 feet down.
Wow.
And all you could see was a white sand, like a desert going across the. It was kind of creepy
Wow.
looking, actually. It's strange out there, but yeah, but he does that, and they're always into something. They're always giving something away. And he used to give rides in the submarine when he was stationed in Cuba. Somewhere now he's down in one of the other islands further down. They hire him to go dive different places. And I remember he was the first one that told me that, because he was working with, it was Cuba and the Canadian Archaeological Society. That's who was doing the original digs for both these cities. And for some reason or another, nobody knows why, they decided to stop publishing any information about the two places. I have no idea why. I don't think it's anything crazy. I think they just want to get all their ducks in a row, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, because first thing people, oh, it's alien, oh, it's this. Oh, no, I don't think that's what it is. I think they found something that predates Egypt, and they got to figure out how to explain it. So they're like, oh, it's in the wrong part of the world, so we got to figure out how. But we don't know. Could have been twisted around. It might have been a continent there at one time. Eventually, they'll let us know what it is. I have faiths mostly.
Get them on your show.
He's been on the show with me before. We got sanctioned because all three of us got clearances.
Oh.
I got sanctioned for the damn aircraft carrier thing.
And where are you living right now? Are you in Florida? Are you in New Orleans? Where are you at?
I am actually on the very edge of Louisiana in Pas Christian, Mississippi. It's I live so if you walk out my door right now and you get stand on my stairs, the bayou is literally 40, not even that, it's 33 feet from my back step to the bayou. Wow. And from there, when you're standing on my dock, I'm exactly 254 yards from the Gulf of Mexico. Wow. That's why when we get hurricanes, I'll have to show you one time. I got a video of Zeta when it came through. You can see the water is literally about 8 inches from the bottom of my house. Woo. It's a little creepy. The creepy one was when it. Oh wait, we got to search.
Oh,
there we go.
That's Lola. She thinks she's famous.
Hi, Lola.
Now. She wants to be famous now. She's like, she sees Dad on radio. She thinks, oh yeah, let me go get up there.
You get all dressed up for it, I see.
Yeah.
She got a little sweater on. She's like 4.5 pounds soaking wet. She's a terror, but she's a tiny little thing. But no, all that kind of stuff, and they used to give away a lot of stuff. They still do, but he was strange. He would load up the submarine and just drive it on down to South America or drive it down to one of the islands. I know he was working down around Venezuela for a while because they couldn't catch him. He could go in and drop stuff on the beach and haul off. He'd get out about 100 yards and just go in the water. They weren't getting him no more. He still likes to, and he gets paid a lot of money to do it. It's a great submarine. I know he hauls it out about every other year. But the reason I brought him up is because he's a writer, but he's always been scared to submit anything. So, way I met him, I was hosting a support group online, and he came in one night and he was telling me what he was doing. We was talking about all the weird stuff he's been into and how he's been all under the ocean, all over the place, and we were talking about some of the things he's seen and all. And he said, I started just keeping long journals, and he said one day I decided, I could just turn these journals into books. I said, maybe. So he sent me a couple of reading, and they need work, but they could be books.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Tell him to go take the online writing workshop.
I did actually. When we talked the other day, I told him about it because it's weird how him and I hit up. So we'll talk a lot, and then we won't see each other for 7, 8, 9 months, and then we'll talk a lot, and then we won't see each other for a while again, unless Ricky or Billy get involved, and then they might catch up in between us all. But everybody's got careers, everybody's doing something, but he really enjoys what he does. I mean, he's been trying to get me to come down. He was somewhere just recently. He was trying to get me to fly down to, and he's like, oh, he's in the Virgin Islands. He's like, come on, fly down. We're going to Bermuda Triangle. I started laughing. I said, yeah, okay, we're going to go floating around in your little yellow submarine Bermuda Triangle. I don't think that's going to happen. I said, this thing has torpedoes in it? No. I said, oh, I'm not coming with you. You're on your own. I said, you're on your own, buddy. Kathy, no, I'm talking with John and Emily Goodwin. They galaxypress.com and galaxypress.com is their home site, and then of course there's writersofthefuture.com. If you want to enter the contest, you want to read about the contest for writers or illustrators, there's a whole lot of stuff on this website that you can go look through. Mm-hmm. And now that I know who the moderator is, I'm going to even push it more because I like Wolf. He's a blast. And I liked his little protege. I can't think of her name right now, but
Brittany Rainston.
Yeah, yes, they were both there, and she was sweet, and and they just seem like he takes it serious, which is a good thing. Because I told him, he said, "Well, how would you do it?" I said, "I'd be kicking people off all the time, man." I said, they have to say, "Yes, sir, Master Joe." He started laughing. He's like, well, I don't know if that's going to work. I said, yeah, I know. John be calling you on the phone. Hey, what's this? Oh man, but it's what's that car? Wait, where'd that go? Cat.
While we're in the East Coast. We should come by and visit you when we're out there in the East Coast.
Yes, maybe so. It's call me when you're headed down. Maybe I'll catch up with you somewhere along the line. So Cat, how the hell you say Cat? Oh Jesus. Kat Murgata, I guess that's it. She's writing in from Thailand. Well, hello on the other side of the planet. She said she is an inspired young artist and would love to submit her work to y'all. Again, writersofthefuture.com.
Yeah. And there you'll find, you can do writersofthefuture.com or illustratorsofthefuture.com. Both go to the same URL. And you can just see right there, enter Illustrator contest, and it gives you the rules and everything you need to know. It's all right there. We would love for you to enter.
And yes, and I met some of the artists there, which I had fun with several of them, which I'm not going to say that because I don't want to get them in trouble. I had a good time.
But what's cool about it, too, is that there's not like a certain style of art or illustration that will win the contest. This image here is from Irmak. She's from Turkey, and that's hers.
Anything with green is going to wackadoodle.
This is a winner from Iran. This winner is from Vietnam. Mm-hmm. So you can see there's all types of styles. This winner here is from America, but is obviously that South African. The African look to it, which is great. We've got and there's also the more classic conventional art too. So it's all types of art that will win. It's not just like it has to conform to a certain look or way. It's just got to be obviously really, really good. and it's got to be original. So it's got to show the creativity. So like, it doesn't matter that somebody uses a whole lot of colors. Like we've had grand prize winners from Mexico. Well, the color usage in Mexico is way different than the color usage
It
in
is
United
too.
Kingdom or in Australia. So we got winners from all over the world.
Mhm.
And so it's not because it looks a certain way. It's because the creativity is just, it really makes it stand out.
And if y'all can win, the artists, the judges that were there, and the artists that were there were given great advice. Like I said earlier in the show, I actually learned. I sat in on Echo, and I sat in on
Tom
oh
Wood as well.
not Tom. I didn't get to sit in on, but
Dan
why can't it?
DeSantos?
Yes, and
Dan Dos Santos. Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So I got to sit on his, and matter of fact, I stole his whole class. First and brought him upstairs for an interview. The whole class, just the whole class. But no. And by the way, I got to hang out with him quite a bit in time. I mean, all three of them were great. I mean, his wife was very nice. I had a great time talking to him. We all sat around several times, and had drinks and just chit chatted about different things. But uh, I watched him, talking with these students. He was serious when he was in that, because don't get me wrong, him and I kidded around a lot doing that. But when he was in that class with everybody, he was serious, and he was
Oh
he
yeah.
was he was showing it because I sat in the very in the back, so I didn't want to distract anybody, so I was just sitting there listening. And I watched. Everybody had their pads or their laptop, whatever they had. They would listen and pay attention, writing. Some were writing on a pad, which I still like to see people old school using pencil and pad or pen and pad because I like doing both. I
Yeah.
use my computer and a pad, but
Yeah.
he really put on good. And I learned more about Shadow listening to that man for 20 minutes than I had in 40 years of watching artists. I'm
Mhm.
not kidding y'all, people. I'm absolutely serious.
Yeah.
Uh, it was just I was
Dan Dos
watching.
Santos. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's the way it's explained it. It just sunk into my head faster or better. I'm not sure what it was, but I was watching him, and the way he was talking about layers and the way he did it, and it actually made sense to me. I was like,
Mhm.
holy, okay, that's just weird. And he was good at what he was doing, and
And now
he
you're
had
going
it.
to submit to the illustrator
No,
contest?
no.
Yeah.
Stickmen are not going to float with you guys. It's not going to happen. Oh man, if it's a girl stickman, it's just going to have some stringy hair things in the background. It's
They'll
so,
confuse your entry.
hey,
They'll confuse your entry with mine.
but I do hear. I know. I had talked with. We're going to win the third time best broadcaster in New Orleans, which is just hacking some of these big stations off. RNO, which is really big, in WWL, which is a across the country station. They just cannot believe I've whooped them 3 years in a row. Matter of fact, I'm actually friends with several of their producers over there. That's why I get to call in and get put in the head of the line. But they were just pissed. And I was talking to a good friend. He said, "How do you keep doing this?" I said, "Because we don't pick a side, and y'all do." I said, "You're making it easy for me." I said, "Y'all." I said, "One of y'all is just going conservative. It's going to be, one's going as liberal. So you made it easy for us. The judges don't want to get involved in politics, and I give them a way out, and you don't." They were like, "That is so wrong." I'm like, "Hey, it works." I said, "You're just gonna have to deal with it, or change the way you do your station," which I'm never gonna do. So,
Yeah.
but it's hard. But I talked with what's the name? What was the awards anyway? What podcaster? The podcaster awards. I don't know what People's Choice Podcaster Awards. I actually talked with the old guy over there a couple of weeks ago
Hmm.
because he had offered honorable mention for two of the shows, and I said, "Nah." I said, "We'll wait." I said, "We'd rather win legit," And so I had a long talk with him. And I'll tell you what, at least two of us are going to win this year, guaranteed.
Mhm.
And no, people, it's nothing crooked or anything. I just understand a lot better this year how it works than I did last year. So, and I think we're gonna. And if everything I was talking to is true, we'll have at least 7 shows in there this year. So, I know Writers of the Future there. This show will be there. So, I'm winning next year, people. I'm telling y'all. I
Go
bet
for it.
I'm winning. Yeah, I got in this year. I'm winning. I've had enough of it. Actually, the bad part is the show that actually beat the show out was really good. I couldn't even complain.
Yeah.
I was a good science show. I was kind of listening to it, going, "Damn, he's good." She's good. I was like, "Damn." So at least it was a good show to beat us out. But and I noticed in other categories everybody ran tight. It's a pretty decent sized field. We're talking about People's Choice Awards now. People keep up. Y'all can't get behind here. Uh, and I know who was it yesterday? I was telling it was UT. I was telling was coming. Y'all were coming on today, And he was like, well, I write all the time. I write all the time. I said, well, if you made any real money, you can't submit. So you need to go read the rules. And he's like, no, 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 no. I just write and submit them to different places and they publish them, but I don't get paid. It's like, well, wait a minute now. What do you mean you publish and you ain't getting paid? There's a problem here. I said, you need
He
to
needs
man
the
up.
workshop.
Yes, that's what I said. I said you need to get it together. But he's an interesting character. He's I don't know how his stories would go with the all. They're how can I explain this? They're like new age feather fluff with a
Wow.
little
I'm not familiar with that genre.
just say
Feather
it's like,
fluff.
yeah, it's like a little twist, like a little squeeze of sci-fi, and I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's just like bubblegum sci-fi. Maybe might be a better way of explaining it. It's too much for me. I'm not going to lie to you. It's just too much for me. It's like it's
Like
like
the dog pounces through the fields, but he has
yes,
a robotic hand.
yes, it's just weird. It's and I'm sure there's a market for it. I mean, there's a market for everything these days, but it's not something I quite can get into. And I like a lot of things. It's just it's something. Marshall, who has time to read?
A lot of
Uh,
people.
A lot of
let's.
people do.
Well, you know what? I'll answer that for you. That's what they make audio tapes for, or audio CDs, or little SD disc with audio on them. You don't have to read anymore if you don't want to. A good friend of mine the other day, I was gonna, he wanted to use the pad to listen to something. Then he realized I had one of the books. He said, "Oh, you got a book?" I said, "No, that book belongs to somebody." He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "You're not getting your hands on my pad, so stop asking." He's like, but, and that's just how he did. But I see the book. I said, the book is already belongs to somebody. It's being sent out in a couple of days. I said, they just sent me their address. He's like, oh man, you are wrong. Because, books come through here. We get a lot of books come through, and people come over and they'll be in the studio. I want to read that book. Every best to know they belong to somebody already, or they belong to me. You're not taking them out of the house, so you can forget it. Because if I loan them to friends, I'll never see them again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be, or I'll get them back and I want to slap them because the things look like they've been sat on, squashed, kicked, thrown
Sure.
out.
They
Well,
folded all the eared all
Oh
the
yeah,
pages and highlighted their favorite quotes and
oh yeah, just one of them things you want to kill somebody for.
tore a few pages
So,
out.
I'm used to the way my wife reads. When she'll read a whole book, she'll read it like a day, and it looks like the same way she opened it up. And she prefers hard copies just because she likes to put them on tables and stuff like that. She won't give me my L. Ron Hubbard book back. She stole it.
Which one is that?
John sent me when I was reading. I was about 3/4 of the way through it, Missy, and it disappeared. I'm like, where the hell did that book go? Because I was reading in the evening, and I'd sit in the bed and all. Because these days I don't get much time to read, so I'd spend 15, 20 minutes in that because she'd smack me if I did it any longer. And one day I noticed it was gone. I'm like, baby. She said, I thought you finished reading. She said, come on, Joe, you should have read that book in an hour. I was like, what? She gives me hell, but and I had speed reading courses. She still gives me hell. So I said, well, baby, where is it? She said, have you been in the living room lately? I said, no. She said, it's on the coffee table. I started walking in, and she's got like wedged in between 4 of the books. I said, oh, yeah, it's on the coffee table. It's hidden on the coffee table. She is something else. But she likes
Oh, okay.
yeah, she just likes hard copy books.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with her. She'll pick up a book and she'll be, and she, all right. I said, what do you mean? I said, you didn't like it? She said, no, I'm done. I'm like, what do you mean you're done? She said, I'm done. Give me another one. I'm not kidding you. I used to give her when guests would send me books in, I would send them to her and let her read them and just make her highlight the stuff that was important for the interviews. And that way I didn't have to read them. And she just was like ungodly fast. And so now it's anytime I get books in the house, she's like, what do you read? And sometimes, so somebody sent me Spirits or something. She said, I'm not reading that one. I don't know what it was, but she said, I'm not reading it. But she likes sci-fi, but she likes a lot of other genres. She can cross a whole wide range of genres, and I know she read everything Anne Rice ever wrote. Well, I shouldn't say everything. Some things she wasn't allowed to read.
Yeah.
I said, babe, you can't bring that in our house. We have children. It was funny. And guys and girls, don't even ask. If you don't know who Anne Rice is, or if you don't know what that last comment is, you don't know who Anne Rice is, so don't worry about it. If you do, just look it up, right, people? Because that's another one we lost just recently. She passed just recently too. And I hate to see good authors going. It's just because just a lack of imagination. I will say this: y'all were like a little light in the tunnel because I did see some new imagination here. some of the stories was talking with people about, and some of the artwork I seen looked fresh. It looked like
Mhm.
something I really hadn't really seen or heard much of before. That was nice. Because
Yeah.
really, truly, these days, I'm like, please stop sending me garbage. Oh, and by the way, whoever sent that comment a minute ago, no, you can't write an episode of Expanse and send it to them. First off, they're going to probably know it. Really, come on, y'all. Because John just wrote, he said, well, I'll just copy like episode 5 of The Expanse and send it in. It was really good because,
Good luck with that.
yes, that's what I said because he was right because season 6 is on tonight and he's like the last episode is on tonight, and I'm like, no, you can't do that. I said they'll figure it out. I said somebody along the line will figure it out. So I'm just telling you ahead of time.
Yeah. I mean, our judges are so well read that people can't get away with submitting stuff. Illustrators, it's a lot easier to find out plagiarism because Google's got an actual app
Yeah,
that you can run that we do on everybody when they submit. Anybody that gets before they finally get selected as a
that's a good
winner.
idea too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we've been burned twice, and so now we've got, as part of
Yeah,
our checklist of actions we do for a winner, is to make sure that there's no plagiarized art.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good idea because there's a lot of art around the world these days, and you know,
Yeah.
telling who's doing what. Marshall, yes, it doesn't matter where you're from. Yeah, you could be from North Korea; they'll still accept it.
That's
Doesn't
right.
mean you're going to win, by the way, but they'll still accept it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got entries from over 175 countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Stephanie, no, just because you're outside the country doesn't guarantee you're going to win. No, sorry. It's got to be good, whether
Yeah.
it's art or whether it's. I've seen a lot of the artwork there. It was really good, and I read a lot of the stories that they were all good. You could tell these people put their heart and soul into this. So
Mhm.
I would suggest you do the same. And I will tell you this as well. I talked to lots of winners, and a lot of them had tried more than one time.
Yeah,
was-
some people have been entering for like 20 years before they finally win. They just keep on honing it and honing it.
And some get lucky and win their
Yeah.
first time. That
Yeah,
it just depends. But don't give up if you don't win the first time. You can keep entering.
But because the judging is blind, it doesn't matter where you're from, your age, your sex, your ethnicity, nothing on that matters because it's all the judges will ever see is your art. So if you're from, Arcturus, we'll figure out some way to get you here for the week-long workshop.
It's no, they're serious guys. I mean, everything. All right, I'm gonna go through this. I know I've said this 100 million times, and I know I'm sure y'all a lot of hearing this. I met John about 4 years ago. I told him, "Oh yeah, you full of it, buddy." he was telling me this whole story, and I was like, I'm not buying this. It took him like 3 interviews just to get me to kind of say, okay, maybe. I was like, and then he introduced me to Emily. I said, oh well, maybe, but still, even then, I was kind of like, I don't know. And for the most part, they had convinced me, but still, I hadn't been there. I didn't really know. But after the trip, they're exactly who and what they say they are. And we'll push them probably as long as all 3 of us are still hanging around on the planet.
Mhm.
It's I enjoyed it. It's good for people. It's going to help people in the world. It's going to help all of us for the fact that there may be some good artists or some good stories come out of this, some good TV, some good movies. Because quite a few of their judges have their books have movies to their credit. So, that's just people. We need this. I'm just telling y'all should be paying them money for doing this. But anyway, I'm not gonna get carried away with myself. It's just because I get a lot of people ask me. Just the other day, matter of fact, I was doing a lecture, just a little small lecture. It was a political lecture, by the way, too. It was about 100 people attended, and somebody asked me, "How much do y'all pay me?" And it caught me off guard because we was nothing. We weren't talking about authors or anything. This was serious politics we were talking about.
Wow.
And then the lady in the back, she put up her hand. She goes, Mr. Montaldo. That's just how she said it. She said, "I'd like to know how much the Goodwins are paying." I said, "The Goodwins." Your name didn't even register at the moment. I'm like, "Who the hell are you talking about?" Because I'm thinking politics. And
Oh.
she goes, "Well, from Radio Futures, because you push them so much." And she said, "I heard you give another lecture the other day, and you talked about them." I said, "Oh, they pay me about $2 million a year, I guess, give or take." And she thought I was serious. And I said, "No." I said, "There's no money involved in this at all." I said, I took a liking to them because they were who and what they said they were. I said, I tell all the people, other media, I said, they do a lot of other shows besides mine. I said, I just like what they do. I said, John's a host on the network. And I said, they're exactly what they say they are. And I said, I watched them both work their ass off on this last gala. I said Emily was nonstop the entire time. I said maybe you should just go listen to them or listen to some of the interviews or see some of the other stuff they've done, or go over and watch the gala and see what was going on. I said because what I said the reason I push them is because they're exactly what they say they are. I said the reason you don't hear me push a lot of stuff is because people send me a lot of things that I'd like to get behind, and then when I start digging into it, I'm like, no, 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 we're not going there.
Yeah.
So it happens more than I care to admit to. So y'all were just a fresher breath, a breath of fresh air amongst the sea of craziness that I get sent to me on a regular basis. I got a group, and somehow or another, so there's a council for Indian culture wants me to be a representative, and I'm like, why? And I couldn't figure out why.
Hmm.
I am part, I got like this much Native American in me, a little sliver. Um, I don't know, like 8%, just enough if I wanted to get my card, I could. But so I couldn't understand why. I said, "What's going on? What's going on?" She said, "Well, you're a spokesperson for ICAR, and that's the other Indian council." And I started smiling. I said, "Not exactly." I said, but I do appreciate the offer. I said, maybe you should check it out a little bit more. And then about 2 days later, I get a nice letter. Oh, thank you, but we misunderstood all of this stuff. Oh, it cracked me up. But that's another thing. Georgia was telling me just a couple of months ago that the Native American culture in this country has almost no access to books on the reservations.
Huh?
And I was like, well, get them some. I mean, what the hell? It's like, I know about Indians in the South, and their tribes, they have casinos and stuff, so they have access to a lot of stuff. Or they have uranium on their thing, so they got lots of money coming through the tribes. But I know, like, the desert tribes some of the ones in the West and all are poor tribes.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, just give it because because we're always worried about donating to this one, donating to that one, putting them in these schools, putting them in that schools. But I think in the long run, the Native Americans get kind of lost in the wash. Um,
They do have each of the the reservations across the U.S. They all have. I don't know if they all have, but I know that there are 300 boys and girls clubs on reservations in the country, and I know we at one point sent out books to all of the boys and girls clubs.
Let's see, y'all are good people. See, that's another reason I like y'all. It's because really and truly, everybody needs to be able to read. Or frankly, for a lot of my friends, it was a big escape from different things in their lives, from school problems to family problems to other problems. It just helped them to make it through it, through their adolescence, through their teenage years.
Yeah.
A lot of them read their way right through it, and a lot of them today, because a lot of what they read and a lot of what's written and a lot of what the stuff y'all have actually has a lot of it has moral values and stuff like that. Now people don't get crazy. For some reason, sci-fi tends to put lessons in their sci-fi. It's just one of those things. There's little hidden things in there that's just in there, and that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. And it doesn't seem like the sci-fi writers are nutsy anymore. They seem to just be everyday nice people who want to make it in the world, which is nice to see. Because when I was young, they were all nuts. By the way, just so in case y'all didn't know that.
A little quirky, but
yeah, there's a few of them. I'm like, okay, where'd y'all come from? Are you sure you're from this planet? Because I'm kind of wondering at the moment.
Well, maybe those authors you could put on your paranormal show.
Yes, it's well, I've done a lot of authors over, but that didn't come out right. But anyway, I had a lot of authors on the shows over the years, and it just didn't sound right when I said it. I'm sorry. Well, I don't want to give anybody the wrong idea here, man. It's but no, over the years,
like somebody told me today that they go to bed with me every night listening to the podcast, and I was like, I just left it alone with that. And they said that. There's a new catchphrase for the podcast: "Go to bed with John every week on the Rise of Teacher podcast."
That's a good one, man. That's a good thing. It's a nice thing to listen to because I know a lot of people do listen to the archives when they're just chilling at home or sitting in bed watching TV. Yeah. Because I remember when I was young, I think the Weather Channel and the cable guy got watched more than anything else on our television. Now there'd be music in the background playing or people talking or something, but the TV would still be on. I noticed even today, like the other day, my wife and I were doing something in the bedroom. My big 70-inch TV's blaring on with no sounds on. We were actually listening to an audio clip from something else, actually several audio clips from things. And it was nice, and it's just nice to sit there. And a lot of people do it because the internet these days allows you to have access to so much material. Think about this: I right now I have personally, I've got 27,000 archives available. I own 147,000 archives, but I
Wow.
have 27,000 available right now to get your fingers on. So that's over 50,000 hours. I mean, do you know how many years you could sit and listen without having to hear the same thing twice? And if I
Wow.
put them all on there, I think if we put everything up, I think you'd get almost 70 years of straight listening without. We just don't put it all up because the first 4 or 5 years, audio is sketchy at best. There's a lot of good interviews in there, but there's a lot of shh, you
Mm.
know, and low audio and stuff like that. They still get listened to, but I hate to torture people that because all the audio has been high def for a decade now. It's clean, it's crisp. Everybody sounds good. The host, the guest, but still, there was a lot of good interviews back in all those. I
Yeah.
uh, I got I'm gonna be doing an interview with I think was it Michio Uebo? Yeah, it was Michio Keiko. We just had booked it for sometime early summer, and I'm gonna probably ask Neil deGrasse Tyson to come back on too. He was a good interview. He was a little starchy in the beginning, but then I started cracking Pluto jokes at him, and he loosened up after that. I said, Neil, I mean that was just wrong what you did, Pluto, man. I mean, come on, you just snatched it out of this. You ain't no damn planet no more. Get down here on the ground. He was like, he lost it. He was like, all right, all right. He's let me explain. I said, oh, there ain't no explaining, dude. You kicked Pluto to the curb. I said, I see. You
Poor
can't.
Pluto.
That's what I said. I said you can't be explaining that one. After that, he was a really good interview. After that, he relaxed and started talking about what he did for the Metropolitan Museum and all kind of other stuff and why he thought about this, why he thought about that. See, I want to get him on because him and I need to have a talk about Santa Claus because he was cracking some stuff after this Christmas. So I want to get on his ass about it. Yeah, I mean he was hating on Santa Claus bad, people.
What?
He said 8 reindeers. Come on, how can 8 reindeers fly around the world in one day? He was having fun at our expense, but and it wasn't really mean, but even though a lot of people took it as it was mean. But I'd still like to catch him and interview it on him. Say, all right, we're going to talk about it. I said, first you're kicking Pluto to the curb, now you're kicking Santa Claus. We got to have a long talk here, Neil. we got to express some sorrow here, my friend. But he's a good interview too, and he's a big reader. When I talked to him, we talked about it. That was before I knew y'all, and he was a big reader. He's talking about it played a big role in his life growing up. Um,
Nice.
and he was interested in foreign places and foreign art and all kind of other stuff. That's what got him into what he did. And then he got into science. Mitchell also was a big reader. Of course, he was probably a nerd geek reader, reading heavy science stuff, but still, and probably sci-fi as well. And him and I talked about what sci-fi has contributed to today's world as far as lasers and different bed technologies and all kind of things that science give credit to sci-fi for. Then a guy invented the laser said he got it from what was it? Not Buck Rogers. What the hell was it? Or maybe it was Buck Rogers. Anyway, something from the 1920s.
Wow.
And he said that's where he got the idea from the laser from. And a whole host of scientists give Star Trek credit for a whole host, including the universal translator that we now have.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's kind of not as good as the one in Star Trek. Hey, at least we got one.
Yeah.
I got that on my phone. I'll tell you, so now I can talk to people because a couple of my subs speak more Spanish than they do English, and I speak fast, and they speak fast, so it's hard to figure out what each one of us is saying. And I said, Spanish
You
dos
need to
no.
put your language in there too.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And
need a Joe translator.
I do need my own translator, especially when I got that Kuyon Cajun accent going on. Oh my God, you can tell when I spend too much time down here.
Yeah.
When I travel, if I'm out of the state for more than a couple of weeks, my accent changes everywhere I travel to. Usually, I end up sounding like some kind of freak from the UK or something. It's a weird thing because I was out in
Freak.
Cali for a while, then I was out in Boston for a while, and I was like, I had kind of a Cali kind of park around the corner, kind of thing going on. It was weird. And then people were like, "Where are you from?" I said, "New Orleans." No, Joe. People from New Orleans don't sound like that. I said, "Yeah, that's where I'm from. I'm from New Orleans." I said, "I'm from Nolens, actually." I said, "We don't call it New Orleans. We call it Nolens because we're lazy." It's
Nalan.
Nolens, yeah. It's just a slang thing. It's like people always say, "Well, I'm going to the French Quarter or Bourbon Street." It's the Bout Carré for us. We don't call it the French Quarter. That's how tourists give themselves away immediately. Tonight we'll go to French Quarter. Okay, tourists, where you want to go? because the locals call it the Vieux Carré because that's what it is. It's the Vieux Carré.
But
And
you're not there right now, right?
right now, but I will be in the morning. So I'm there every day. I'm in the
Oh,
city
okay.
every day. So my both this part of the station's based there at the 105.3 tower, and then my other job, my construction company is based out of New Orleans. We do maintenance and construction. We've been moving some of the stuff to the coast, but it's out of there. I used to keep a condo down there, but man, it's so crazy with shoot 'em up down there like that. I don't want to right now.
Mm.
Matter of fact, Martha goes everywhere I go when I'm in the city. It's just the other day I was downtown New Orleans. There was 11 carjackings.
What?
I'm thinking, yeah, don't even think you're gonna carjack my car because you're not gonna like what's gonna come next. It's just gotten dangerous. But the bad part is they're 11 carjackings. They arrest 5 people. 5 hours later, they're carjacking again. So everybody in the city is just keeping their stuff close to them and staying safe. So it's just on the coast where I'm at right here. There's virtually no crime. The only crime you got to worry about is this is a bedroom community and it's a tourist community. So
Mm.
this time of year, there's nobody here. There's a lot of big multi-million-dollar homes around me, but nobody's in them.
Mm.
You see them for Christmas, and then from January all the way until about April, there's just nobody here but us, which is really nice.
So it's like a Home Alone film.
It is. Yeah. I got some neighbors now. All of a sudden, decided to build a home next to me. 5 years, no neighbors on the whole street. All of a sudden, I got a neighbor. I'm like, really, really? I should have bought that freaking lot. I knew I should have bought that damn lot. But it's nice, and it's a nice neighborhood. And I snuck into it. A friend of mine, he said, "How did you get into Henderson Point?" Jesus, Joe. He said, "The house over there is so damn expensive." I'm not telling you. I snuck in, man. That's it. They ever find out I'm as poor as them, they're gonna kick me out.
Hmm.
It's a great place to live, and like I said, there's virtually no crime other than you got to watch in this time of year that if your house is vacant, somebody might try to get into it. But as far as violent crime, nah, it's pretty much non-existent.
That's good.
Like today, I came in, I went and sat on my boat dock for about 10 minutes, watched the sunset.
Nice.
Yeah, watch the dogs run around the yard. I don't want to get too close to the water because in case there's an alligator or something. But it's just a very nice place to relax and chill out. And have no. Now though, I'm getting ready to remodel my house, so it's going to be a disaster for about the next 4 months.
So do you worry about the dogs running around with gators out there?
Well, see, it's weird. So if it hasn't been a bunch of rain, the bayou on my end is connected to the Gulf, so it's really salty, so they'll stay out of there.
Yeah.
But if we get a lot of rain, though, they get forced down from the river down by where we live.
Interesting.
And so I got a bulkhead on one side of my yard, on both sides of my yard, so it's too high for me to get up there. But I have a boat launch in my yard, so they can come up the boat launch if they want to. So I don't let the dogs get. I'm more worried about the eagles and the hawks and the damn other birds getting them than the damn.
Wow.
Yeah. When we first moved here, we still do. We have a breeding pair of ospreys that's winter here. I mean, summer here, 6 months out of the year, they fish off my back porch. They used to eat on the porch, but since we live here now, they go eat in the tree. But they still fish here, and beautiful birds. They don't like my dogs. They don't care about my dogs. Plus, my other 2 dogs hated birds because Charlie, when he was a puppy, a seagull tried to carry him off. So ever since then, he became like anti-bird. If he sees even a shadow, he would lose his mind. So he taught little Fiona, the one I have now, not to trust birds. So if they see any bird, they start immediately barking, growling, snarling. Usually birds, when they see that, they kind of go on. But we have 2 bald eagles that fish not
Wow.
far from here. So I worry about them because they ain't going to be scared of no chihuahua. They'll be like, whatever, you're just going to be a snack. And the hawks, they leave them alone too. But it is, when you live out, see, we don't actually live in the country. We live in between 2 cities on the coast. It's kind of
Sounds
like
nice.
it's like a suburb with very few neighbors, except in the summertime. There's a lot of neighbors here.
Huh?
It is. It's very comfortable, very relaxing. I hate that they built the bridge not far from my house now, but I hate it and I don't hate it. It's a weird thing because it picks up a little more noise, but it'll act as a wave barrier for my house when a hurricane comes in. And they had to dig the channel out, so now that I'm buying a new boat, I can get out in deep water that way. So yeah, it's a plus down. Tamara, what you got for us, Tamara? What do you mean? Oh, Tamara says she don't believe that you get out of here with this. How many times I know you listen to this show, so how many times do you think we're going to say this? No, everything is blind judged. It's I'm telling you, it's blind. I talked to every damn judge there. But what, you think I'm lying to you? Come on, you know better than that. You know how I am about that kind of stuff. No, Tamara, I'm serious. Every judge I talked to said the same thing, and I did ask. You know how I am, and I even asked a couple of times, kind of sneakily, when we had a couple of boots, a couple of drinks in it, and they still answered the same way. No, it's all blind judged, and if you're worried about that, I will personally vouch for them that so send in your story. So well, send in both. So you
Well,
do art.
it's computerized. So basically, when you send a story in, there's an administrator inside the contest who runs the back end of the website. And what happens is all of the stories go into a file. But if you put your name on the story or anywhere in the manuscript, you're going to be disqualified automatically for having your name in there. It just goes into automatic disqualification folder. But afterwards, all the stories get assigned a number, and then they go into a folder for the judges to start judging. And then the judges see a number, so they'll say number 7846 is, an honorable mention or whatever however they vote it. But it only really, you only find out who wrote the story once the winners are announced. Before that, they never see it. So it's computerized. So it is definitely blind judged.
It definitely is. Iola just sent this part of her story. It's about okay. Look, how do you say your name? Llona. Look, girl, what are you like Kazakhstan somewhere or something? Pakistan? No, that's not Pakistan. That's like a Polish name or something, maybe a Ukrainian name. She said, "Yeah, this is the start of a story. Wherever did I publish it right or did I do it right? Because it looks like the same thing twice. Where did it go? I don't know if I got in there. Tell me if I did, because I know you're watching the video. She was sending me this the other day. She sent me like the whole what's not a paperback novel. It's a online novel, and she sent me the whole thing. I said, well, why don't you send it to them? Because it's about some reptilian aliens that are coming and visiting and taking
Yeah.
them places. And at first, I thought she was sending it to me as a legit, thinking thought she was actually seeing aliens, but no, this is actually a story she's writing, and she's been sending it to me in pieces like this. And this is what she sent me last night, but. Send it to the wrong people. Send it to writersofthefuture.com. Send it to me. I can't do anything with it. I'm not going to submit it. Even if you send me the whole thing, I'm not going to submit it.
Yeah, it can be up to 17,000 words. It's got to be a complete story. You can't.
When did it get bigger? Right? Wasn't it 10,000 words last year? Did this thing grow on me when I wasn't paying attention?
It's been 17,000.
All right. I thought y'all pulled a slick on me there for a minute.
No. We did probably say that there is an average, 5 to 10,000 words is like an average winning story, but it can be up to 15 or 17,000, but it could even be one page if it was really good. I mean, that's a flash fiction, but it is not likely to win, but it's not impossible.
It's happened once.
Yeah.
So it's Alola. It says reptilians are a lot here on Earth. It's a problem. Path went to battle with the reptilians. Path spoke that we have protection. I know, Boo. I know you're from a different country, and it's just a translator. Let's see. And what is it? Astor or Thor? I don't know if you can use Thor, sweetie, because Thor's kind of. I don't know. Maybe Thor's universal. I don't know. I don't know how that works. And then she's talking about a statistic tube fell from the sky, and it was burnt on one side. Well, at least you're getting the filler stuff in there. But again, you need to send it to writersofthefuture.com, not to me.
And you can also go and if you need help with composing a story, you can go to writersofthefuture.com, go to the free online workshop, and the judges there will tell you how, what it is they're looking for and how a story should be put together, how the dialogue should be written, how the narration should be written, all that stuff. So you can check that out.
And then let's see. Where'd it go? Oh, no, y'all being stupid now. I ain't reading none of that. Shrewbridge Kevin. He said, I have 7,000 words written. He said, but I'm not sure how to edit it. Is there online something that would help edit it?
For editing help, you can go to the writersofthefuture.com, go to the forum, and there are other people. There's a free service there that helps with editing and review. that you'll see the links in there for it when you go to the Writers of the Future forum. And you can also ask other forum members who do a lot of help with story editing. Even Wolf Moon does freelance. He's the Writers of the Future forum moderator, and he also does, some freelance editing.
Yeah,
So,
y'all don't bug that man
a lot
unless
of
y'all
resources.
serious.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I know he stays busy, so it's Bablola Unka. Where do y'all get these names? And these are real names. I don't know where y'all get. I know different countries have different names. Hi, I want to wish everybody a happy new year, and I hope everything's good. I'm writing in dream reality. Do y'all know any? Wait, what, dude? That makes no sense.
Dream reality.
Well, if it's a subgenre of fantasy, it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He all right, now, why, man, it was like jibber jabber. So anyway, he said he's writing in dream reality, and he's wondering if when you read like other books and stuff like that, is it okay if you like take a piece out of a book?
No.
Like, see, that's what I was thinking, because I was thinking that if they ran it, they would find that it was a piece of somebody's book. What do you mean, like a piece or like an idea? I'm not. Your English is worse than mine. Yeah, I'm sorry. Um,
Oh, I can make this one out. I'm going to put this one on.
Oh well, thank you. We can divine forever. I'm not saying. I'm sure this is not translating the way it should be. That's kind of funny. But again, galaxypress.com. Go over there and see what you can find out. Because actually, I have no idea what you're saying. It's confusing me. Oh, hello, Amelia. I seen you sent me a texty message there for a second. And let's see. I'm just going down this long list of. Okay. Hey, Charles Christian, ain't seen you. Well, he's an author, but he's already established author. Half these people that are writing in here established authors. This was kind of weird. Oh, Lily, where have you been? So this is Lily. She's writing out of D.C. She's a regular in D.C. She says once I go to writersofthefuture.com, if and I start taking a course, is there ways to get help there?
Not on the course because it's a series of videos and essays, but you can either go to the forum, to the Writers of the Future forum for help, or you can occasionally we do a live Q&A like once every quarter with one of the judges from that online workshop where they can answer any questions you have after you've done the course, after you've seen what they had to say to make sure it's not answered somewhere later on the course. Then you can, ask whatever questions you still have in a live Q&A, which if you sign up for the Writers of the Future email, which you'll see on there, then you'll get an email about the online, live Q&As that we do with one of the judges.
I mean, there's lots of stuff on there. The course is good, guys. Y'all should just take it. I mean, if you're up and coming, even if you're somebody who submitted something before and you haven't won, it will help you refine what you're doing. Toth, I think that's how you say it, Toth.
Mm-hmm.
Armand wants to know, is there a list of genres we should write in?
Sci-fi or fantasy or light horror. It's usually like speculative fiction, so sci-fi, fantasy, light horrors, dark fantasy. Okay.
He wanted to know what is for sure, what is absolute no-nos. I know sex stuff is absolute no-no.
Yeah, any graphic sex or profanity. These are, PG, so you don't want anything super violent, graphic violence, graphic sex, excessive swear words. You don't want to submit anything like that.
Well, he's actually writing in from Greece, and he just said thank you because this will help him in the guidelines. Again, right. Galaxypress.com. You can go over there. And, I'm sorry, writersofthefuture.com gave you out the wrong one. But yeah, you can go over there and write it. Was I saying your name right? Thoth. Yeah, I see the hyphen on it. Yeah, I did. Oh man, some of these names are tough.
Yeah, here's the actual rule about what's accessible. This is from the page on rules, which is on writersofthefuture.com on entering the contest. It has a thing on the rules. Is point 3. All entries must be original works by the entrant in English. Plagiarism, which includes the use of third-party poetry, song lyrics, characters, or another person's universe without written permission will result in disqualification. Excessive violence or sex determined by the judges will result in disqualification. Entries may not have been previously published in professional media. So that's basically the rules on it. And then it says that all types of science fiction, fantasy, and dark fantasy are welcome.
See, there you go. And again, you can go over there and look for yourself if you haven't.
And
Pepper
really, what makes
Lee's.
it also special with this contest is that the when you submit your story, you still maintain your rights. Sometimes when you submit to contests, you forgo your rights.
Oh, that's true. It's a big one too.
You maintain your rights even when we publish it. You still have your rights, so you can get it republished. A lot of times, if somebody's gotten to publishing a book, we just ask that the winners wait until we've published it in Rise of the Future before they get it published in some other anthology or some other publication.
La Lily Peppy wrote in. She just sent a bunch of hearts.
Okay,
And,
good.
Brittany says, thanks for all the hard work y'all do. It's nice to know people are out there trying to make a difference. Well, I'm glad you like them. H. Thomas Cameron. Oh, this is addressed to me. Never mind. Dear Miss. Oh, no, that's a whole nother subject there. Sorry, that's for another night. That's actually probably a private one, actually. But yes, Thomas, I've seen your thing, and I will contact you. Thanks for sending me your phone, and I'll contact you as soon as I get a chance. I seen Chris Cameron's writing in. Y'all stop dinging me. Sorry, I'm fussing at him. Chris Cameron's writing in. How do you get a ticket? A ticket to what? Oh, do you mean a gala? You don't get no tickets to the gala. That's
you
how
gotta
you
win
get it.
the contest, and then you come out. We'll fly you out here. It's free if you win. So you just got to write a good story or submit some good art, and then
Personally, I think that.
But we broadcast it live though too. When it happens, we broadcast the event live as it's happening.
Yeah.
And they got a bunch of great people out there, both from Galaxy Press and from Author Services. There's just a whole host of great people that you're going to get to meet, not including the judges and the other contestants. Win, and then I'll get to aggravate you. So win. But you can't win if you don't submit. This is some things I talk with people all the time about. People tell me they want to do this, that, and if you don't try, you can't. It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
You can talk about it till you're blue in the face, but until you actually physically do something, nothing's going to change. So don't be scared. Again, all they can say is you didn't win this time. Yeah. It's not like John's going to send Emily over with a whip or something. So, y'all just got to just say, okay, I didn't win this time. I'll submit next year. I don't know about wait, hold on, where'd that one go? Barry says, if I submit a story and it doesn't win, can I resubmit the story if I cleaned it up and changed it around? Is that a good idea or a bad idea?
That's not against the rules.
Okay, so there you go. People, I know y'all know how to read. I'm sorry, I'm just being mean. It's stop it. Oh wait, who's that? Stephanie, go on YouTube, doofus. Yeah, just type us on. Lord have mercy. So you're going to text me on my phone on Facebook, but you're not going to use the YouTube or the Facebook on the. I ain't going there. No, we're just going to leave that alone. Michael from the Tesla Science Foundation writes in, and wait. Oh, can you write science sci-fi?
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah, I would think. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna I'm gonna leave that alone. They answered you, so I'm just gonna move on from there. It's y'all got a couple of more questions,
sometimes
guys.
Does well also in the series because it's sometimes it's really good stuff.
Yeah.
With people have a lot of fun with that, and so that sometimes does very well with the Rise of the Future.
And if you win, you're gonna get to see John and Emily run around like maniacs. I'm not kidding you. They don't stop the whole entire time.
Well, that cost extra.
Yes, that is extra, but still, it's amazing how much work they do. I know they make it look easy and everything comes off without a hitch, but I know that's not true because I know they're busting their ass. But it is amazing what they get done. To get not just to get the gala going, but have all this other stuff going on at the same time. And there's a lot of events going on between this in this week that they're learning all this different stuff. There's just a lot going on, and I don't want to jinx them, but they really did a fabulous job. I was quite impressed, and I'm not easily impressed, by the way. I'm getting older. I get less impressed I get about anything. Benet Camp, that's a Ukrainian name, and I think you're just a bot. So we're going to leave you alone. One more. Oh. So Lorene writes in from the World School of Happiness. Well, that's just too sweet to be believed. Really, the World School of Is that a real thing? Is it really? I'm sorry. Anyway, she writes in from the World School of Happiness. And she's so
Well,
is
she made
New
you
Age.
smile.
Huh?
So she made you smile.
Yes, she did. So she wanted to know: is there like a New Age genre in sci-fi? I'm
Constantly.
confused. Yeah,
See, the
I'm
thing is,
like,
like New Age is nonfiction, and that's like the self help spiritual side of stuff. Um, what you have is you have near future science fiction, which is a real interesting thing because you're gambling that you're going to hit it right when you can be disproven within a couple of years. And then there's the fantastical stuff where you've got um, things that are like unexplained. Like one thing, like Tim Powers, one of our judges, he's the guy that wrote on Stranger Tides that was made into the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Um, he'll take something that happened in actual history, but there's a moment that's like what happened during that night between this and that, and he'll fill that in with fantastical. And
Mhm.
so it's amazing what he does and how he does that. But that type of stuff is a really good tool because it improves the believability of a story. Because if you have all these points that are fact, 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 this happened, yes, this happened, yes, this happened, it makes it really easy then to move in something that you can then invent and weave it in there so you can make it a lot more credible. Somebody's more willing to suspend their disbelief to read it. So that's a common tool.
no, I know we're getting close. Anything y'all want to tell these lovely people out here tonight? There's about 900,000 listening to us, so
All right.
which I'm amazed since we've
Thank
been
you,
off by
everybody.
four
Yeah, thank you for
days.
Thank you for
listening.
listening. And if we wish you the best of luck if you're a creative type person, and even if you don't feel like you're up to entering either the writer contest or the illustrator contest, you should anyway. There's nothing to lose. It's free to enter. Nobody even sees your name, and the worst that happens is you'll get a little note that says, not this quarter, and feel free to try again. And it's just it's a good thing all around.
And everything connected with Riders of the Future is free.
Mhm.
Except for buying the book, which we're glad to have you buy the book. But the online workshop is free, the forum is free, the podcast is free, the blog is free. All those things are tools that you can use that we put there to help you, which was what was originally created by Orrin Hubbard initially in 1983, and that's what we've been forwarding on. So we highly recommend you either get the book so you can find out just how good you have to be, or if you just want to have some great science fiction and fantasy to read, get the book. And you can get it at pretty much any bookstore. It's on Amazon around in all the countries around the world where Amazon exists. And then you can also go to Galaxy Press. The other thing which you talked about, which is in that picture right behind you, Battlefield Earth. It's the 40th anniversary this year. We'll be definitely be talking more with Joe about that over the rest of this year. But it's a perennial bestseller. It continues to be one of the best-selling science fiction books, and there's a reason for that. And if you've not read it, I really, really, really highly recommend that you check it out. Again, go to galaxypress.com and you can find out more about it there.
Guys, y'all got all of that? Y'all paying attention? Marcia, no, You mean for the Tesla Science Foundation? No, I'm actually a director there. That's why so many people over there know me. Yeah, they picked me up a while back for some reason or another. Some science conversation I was having when somebody got me recruited. It's which is fine. I mean, I enjoy that kind of stuff. But guys, get out there. If you don't submit, you can't win. I mean, you can talk about it again, but if you don't submit, you can't win. And if you win, you get to meet a lot of lovely people, including one of my favorite people I've met there, tall, dark, and Amazon woman who calls everybody. Let y'all know if y'all want or not.
Joni.
Yeah, Joni was great, by the way. I had a blast with Joni. She was strange. No, Joni, if you're listening, I didn't mean strange in a bad way. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She was another one that never stopped. I mean, every time I seen her, she was in warp speed mode going somewhere.
Yeah.
Even at the dinner, I'm like, you can sit down for a minute. She's no, I can't. I'm like, yeah, sit down, stay still for a second. It was not going to happen. But if y'all go watch the gala event and you go to like 58 minutes and you get to see Emily's very lovely face right there. So y'all go check it. That's actually 58.5
You see
minutes.
me in the event?
No, it's not. But anyway, y'all go look and see. I'm just teasing.
Oh,
It's there was a lot of good shots in the audience, by the way, of a lot of people. Y'all should go take a look at it.
oh,
But
it's
Yeah.
you in the audience.
yeah,
That's
there
amazing.
you go. I was gonna scare
There
him
was
real
a
good.
few shots of you in there.
It's because I told you when I was outside, I was working the press. I've been around for a while. I know how to work the press. It's no, I'm just kidding. They were a lot of good people out there. And matter of fact, everybody I met in the press was nice. It was nice. Everybody was in blacks. I knew who was who, and it was kind of nice. And yeah, people. There were actually a lot of press people there that were actually nice people. I know. I was surprised myself. And then the lady from with the Chinese media, she was an interesting character herself. I got her card. Actually, I'm gonna write to her pretty
Yeah,
soon.
she's with Zenwa. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's her. And she was very interesting. We talked 4 or 5 times throughout the night about different things, and I was quite impressed with the size audience she got. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I love you now, a long time. I don't want to get slapped. But we got to go, guys and girls. John and Emily are always great. It's glad having y'all on tonight. It's always a blast. Ladies and gentlemen, Science on and Beyond will be back on for the next 4 or 5 weeks. We have Josh and them coming on next week, and then we got a couple other guests coming on after that. Then we'll be switching over to the Centralist for a couple of weeks. As far as my main shows, I haven't been doing any of my main shows. I've been too busy at work and they're too early in the day. So I don't want to schedule guests when I don't think I'm going to be home in time to have. I don't want to stand up a guest because my other job is busy, because that one pays for all of this and a lot of other stuff to boot. So it's just, it allows me to get the FM antennas and things like that. So I'm really busy. We had 2 hurricanes back to back. So my other company is seriously busy right now. So they'll be back. The Monday show actually Monday show is not coming back. We moved it to a different day. But the Wednesday show will be back in a couple of weeks because Michelle's going to kill me if it's not because it hurts our audience numbers. She wants it back. And then the other show will be back as well. This one, there'll always be something here. It rotates between usually 3 shows. Right now, it's just going to be Science and Beyond and The Centralist. So pay attention when we're talking about it because if you're coming to listen to Science and it happens to be Centralist is, I don't want to say it's politics because it's a lot more than just politics. It's what's going on in the country all the way around, but there is a lot of politics in there. So be aware for that. And I'm a centralist, so I take the middle. So I tend to hack off both sides. So I just wanted to warn y'all ahead of time.
Mhm.
But it's one of the reasons why other politicians like me on both sides. I can get interviews from both sides because I'm not taking a side. I'm taking the station side, which is neutral for now. But again, we got to go, guys and girls. Coming up next is Quantum Leap with Kathy Belsky. She's out there in beautiful Honolulu in Hawaii, living on her mountain with her 1,000-pound crystal. And you just got to be nice, man. Living on top of a mountain in Hawaii overlooking the ocean. I'm like, I will say this, though. This is a funny story. She got 1,000-pound crystal, massive crystal. It escaped her house. I don't know how it escaped. Rolled down the hill and smashed the side of her car. I
What?
said, I'm like, what the hell? Is like this crystal mad at you or something? What's going on here? People, I'm serious. When I say 1,000-pound crystal, I mean this thing is huge. She's got a 1,000-pound one and a 650-pound one. Y'all should go check them out. They're massive. But she'll be on in just a few seconds, and she'll be bringing y'all up and enlightening your spirit and hoping everyone's having a great and wonderful life. And she only talks about good stuff most of the time. Most of the time. But on that note, good night and stay tuned for Kathy